in any sport than just the sport. But so many people, I think, don't necessarily grasp that concept unless they're an athlete, because it's not about running or cycling or swimming, right? It's about overcoming challenges and, getting rid of negative self-talk, or, doing something you've never done before, getting out of your comfort zone. And it doesn't have to be triathlon, it could be running, it could be gravel, it could be playing soccer, I don't know, all of it. It's all the same. There's like one theme that runs through it.
It is. Older and away from, when we were younger, competing at different sports or whatever we were doing,
Yeah.
you find that the only challenges you have are negative. It's like, oh, my boss sucks, or like this, I don't like my job, or my kids are doing something. And it's not so much for yourself. Like, you're not challenging yourself as much and what I found for myself was that triathlon and multi-sport and endurance sport gave me a way to challenge myself in a positive way.
Right.
That, we have all these negative influences, and it was always just me. I was able to like dial it in and get after it and attack it. And those challenges I missed having challenges that I felt like, I don't think I can do that. And then I did it.
Right.
And so most of them are professional challenges or parenting challenges or relationship challenges.
Yeah.
It's very rare you to do things that actually optimize your health. And that's what I think I love, or what I love most about
In
ours.
our careers, right? Because this is an entrepreneurship, wellness, endurance sports podcast. I'd like to talk about that. And I think that, one of the places that I started with this was, endurance sports can help you achieve goals that maybe you set a goal in your career and you can't get there the way you want to get there, but you have to have those small gains and small wins that, can help you get or feel that sensation, so you can take that sensation to the workplace or to your family. So if you know what it feels like to overcome a challenge physically and mentally on the race course, like, you can take that experience and say, okay, I can do that, so I can do it here. And I feel like that's, that is, I think, a lot of the reason that some of the founders and, experts that have been on this podcast that I've met in my life all have some kind of like sport, even if it's yoga. It's not a sport, but
You have to be an athlete to do it, and it is, because and again, it's not like you're competing against other people, but it's it's health and wellness, and you're being fit. But I think that it teaches you grit, it teaches you perseverance, it teaches you how to overcome and push through things when there are challenges. I've always hired athletes. I think it's again, adult onset athletes or people who've been athletes their entire life, because you've had to learn how to fight through things, how to not quit in the middle of it. The biggest indicator of success are people who don't quit.
Yeah.
And I think that when you look at endurance athletes, that mindset, that thing you can turn off when everyone else wants to quit, and you say, not today, and you push through that extra minute and you get to that next level where you're feeling great. That happens in business. It happens when you're struggling with your kids. It happens in every part of life. And I think triathlon sport in general teaches us those lessons, and it gives us those like, oh, I remember doing that on that, when I was actually feeling like I had to give up in the middle of, like, towards the end of a swim, and you just push through it. And when you push through it, then it gives you the confidence for the next thing you overcome. And so it's just something that many of the reasons why I love the sport is, yes, it teaches you the lessons about life, but it also, it tells you where your limitations are, which are really not limitations. They're just in your mind for the most part.
Right.
And you can keep fighting through it. And that's what I see when people talk about business success. It's you have to be somewhat intelligent. You have to work hard and do all those things that everyone taught us our whole lives. But to me, the number one thing that makes somebody successful is perseverance and grit and pushing through when nobody else wants to.
Yeah.
And when you believe in something, keep going.